Earlier this year, plans were announced for Dunsink City Quarter. It involves the largest bank of undeveloped land off the M50, and it would see the creation of 3 new residential areas with 18,500 homes. However, Fingal County Council says the proposals go beyond housing. They're talking about new amenities, new infrastructure and a brand new cultural quarter. Fingal County Council says new transport routes will be brought in, but residents in the area have raised a host of other issues.
Our concern is now that there will be a type of ethnic cleansing, that the travellers will be displaced to make room for settlers.
We should have learned some lessons with people coming into it, not to put them into a ballymun again, trying to rear children in high-rise flats.
I've been asking locals in the area what they think about the new Dunsink City Quarter. Many people will know Dunsink as it started out as a landfill site. The dump was decommissioned in the 1990s, although travellers have been living in the area since the 1970s. Around 100 travellers live on the land. Many of those who live and work in the area say this isn't the first time they've felt ignored as a community. Pavy Point's co-director Martin Collins lived at Dunsink for 16 years.
The political classes and the settlers were quite happy for travellers to live in Dunsink Lane with very minimum facilities, certainly no electricity, sanitation, public lighting, no footpaths, and living beside the biggest landfill in Ireland. But now things have changed drastically in the last number of years. Since the dump was decommissioned, this whole land bank around Dunsink Lane, down as far as Ashtown, is prime development land. So our concern is now that there will be a type of ethnic cleansing, actually, that the travellers will be displaced, potentially, to make room for settlers, despite the fact we have a presence in the area for almost 50 years.
This area here, I've been now, could be over 15 years now, primary healthcare worker. There's a lot of people, with health issues. So to live in states that I see them living in, we come out to do our work and we bring it in to report it, and we get on to the local councils to see can they come out and better people's conditions where they live to better their health as well. But it doesn't seem to be very much getting done.
I know a lot of these families before I ever worked. There's a lot of travellers here that hasn't got any running water or any electricity or anything like that. No right facilities, toilets or anything, just portaloos. It's horrible situations around here. There's people suffering very bad with their mental health. You see no one, they're very isolated.
Travellers still like living together and we like living in our own community. But I think it's about time for the local authorities, along with the government, to really provide a little bit of proper living conditions for people to live in, to have dignity.
Beside Dunsink Lane, there's a small community in Scribblestown. I met with the Lamberts, who've been living there for generations.
Our family has been living here for 83 years. Our grandparents had businesses here. My dad had a garden centre. Our family has been like a big part of the community in Finglas for a very long time. They're going to put a dual carriageway over our homes here. Fingal haven't actually had any consultation with us at all. They were speaking to my mother and my mum said there's a road currently going over my house, and the planner said, people have to have somewhere to live. She's 76 years old. She made a point of going up to look at these plans, and it was very dismissive.
You believe planners actually haven't been out to the area to see it?
No, they confirmed that they've never been out here. So when I asked them, have you come out to the area, have you seen Scribblestown Lane, have you looked at the area that you actually want to put in this road? And they said no, they hadn't. None of the planners had been out. 40,000 people are going to be living there. That's the population of Longford. We need to have proper housing put in there. We need housing with gardens, green spaces for kids to play in. We don't need 15-storey plus flats.
I haven't met someone yet that said, I'm against it. They were for the building, but they're for it in a proper fashion and to respect what they have and to give respect for the people coming into it, not to put them into a ballymun again. I see big structures and a woman and someone and her hubbies trying to rear children in high-rise flats. We should have learned some lessons.
Fingal County Council described this venture as a once-in-a-generation opportunity. It says it will talk with all stakeholders as part of the development process, and it will respect the land's cultural heritage with regards to the traveller community. It's in the process of reviewing a public consultation on the project, which closed on the 31st of July. It has over 400 submissions, with many raising concerns about what they say is a lack of engagement about what's going to happen.
Putting this additional population in here without catering to those basic needs, it's real cause for concern, and Fingal have only recently started answering questions and not in any great level of detail either.
And what do you say to the argument that we're in a housing crisis and we do need more housing?
Yeah, we absolutely need housing, and I think everybody I've talked to so far has been in agreement on that fact. So we're not against development on the Dunsink lands. What we're against is the proposal as it stands, which I think is too dense, too big, too much of the impact is felt here in Finglas. You can only really meaningfully engage with a consultation when you have all of the facts, and Fingal have made no effort to get those facts into Finglas.
With 18,500 new homes across 3 phases, chances are some of the current services could become oversubscribed. Members of the local Erin's Isle GAA club haven't been shy in raising concerns about how the plans might affect their club, access to pitches and resources in the area.
We've got next to about 3,000 members. We field about 76 teams across the 4 codes. We have a lot of programmes in place to try to enhance the lives of the kids that play here. We've got a fantastic culture.
And given that there's plans for 18,500 houses, you know, one can imagine that many of those people will want to join their local GAA club. What do you think about, I suppose, that fact and the fact that you might get a whole influx of new members?
Yeah. As I said, I don't think the problem is with new housing. I think the problem is density. Finglas is in a precarious position because we're divided in two between Dublin City Council and Fingal County Council. Like, we've no control over, say, some Charlestown, the far side of Margaret's Road. That's Fingal County Council. There was a lot of green space up there. That's all gone. You know, so the only space that we can fit a full-size GAA pitch is on Dunsink. That is the only place around and surrounding Dublin 11. There is no other place. You know, as a club, going back a couple of years, like we had a presentation in there with the local councillors. Nobody from Fingal County Council showed up, but Dublin City Council did. And we kind of aired that grievance that, listen, if there's ever a development on Dunsink, we need a fair shake with the local soccer clubs and any other sports from the Dublin 11 area.
A report on the public consultation is now being prepared. The council says it will consider the issues and draw up a response. For the hundreds of people who have raised concerns, they now have to wait and see what changes, if any, will be made to Dunsink City Quarter.